Do you want to sign Soroban transactions with your face or your fingers? I know I do. So let's do it. This is actually possible right now. Kind of. You have to use Soroban Unlimited. So there's a quick start. The current way to do this is with a new signing curve, and we're currently trying to push forward this particular use case so the CAP 51 can actually go through and make it onto Stellar baked into the protocol as a new host function, because the resource usage of verifying these signatures is quite high to do it inside of a Soroban transaction, or do it inside of a Soroban contract. So I'm posting this to get a little more activity on that so that we can really press, because I want to sign it with my face and with my fingers. So if you go to Lee's GitHub, there's a little secret repository called Soroban webauthn. We're going to grab a hold of that. We are going to clone it. I'm going to go into the place where all good projects start. Git clone that project. We're going to cd into that project, and I'm going to open it. Now inside this incredible project, there's quite a few repositories. We got to do a couple of things. The first one, which we should go ahead and get started, is actually to make sure you've got Docker installed, because again, we have to use an unlimited version of Soroban because the resource usage for this is quite high, so you can't actually do it right now on FutureNet or testnet. So we're going to need to spin up our own Docker that's running an unlimited budget. This is quite simple to do, however. Let me get the code for this. So once you've got Docker installed, you just run this docker run. We'll use a quick start, and then the key here is this limits unlimited budget, and make sure the Soroban RPC is enabled, and then that will kick off to begin standing up our own little network locally. Fantastic. Okay, now we'll come back here inside our make file. We've got a couple of parameters set up here. You see it's going to go to our local network. It's going to be the standalone network. He's got a Soroban account. Apparently he's got a profile. For me, I've got one called default. I don't know what yours is called, or if you have one, but you might want to go to your Soroban CLI, and I think there is a keys here where you can stand up new keys and give it a short name. So that's where me is coming from. I have one called default. We'll go ahead and stand that up, and then we'll start running these commands inside this make file. So the first one is make serve. That one actually we don't need to run quite yet because that stands up the web interface. We can run build, and that's going to build all of these different projects here, which is essentially standing up this factory and contract, which will allow this custom account for signing with my face. All right, sweet, we've got that built. Let's make sure we save this file, and then we'll run deploy. And we'll need to make note of the contract IDs and WASM hashes that get put out from here, but go ahead and run that. Looks like we haven't funded our default account yet. So this is the public key of that default account, so we need to fund that. That is simple enough. We'll just go to localhost 8000, friendbot, and then the address, and we'll paste in that address. And that will fund our account. Great. We'll go ahead and run deploy again. Nice. So we've got all these hashes and a contract ID. And if we go into the web app demo and go to init, we've got these values that we need to update. The one to note here for the native contract ID, that's for the native XLM token contract, we need to run Soroban lab token wrap asset native network local. You may have to set up a network that's called local, similar to the way that I've got default and Lee had me. You can also set up networks so that you don't have to pass in the network URL and passphrase. You can just use this shorthand for local, but I'll do that. Looks like I also need to pass a source account, and that would be that default account. And then that'll make sure that our native token is wrapped, so we actually have this Stellar Asset contract of the native token able to be passed back and forth, because that's what this contract is doing. We can see that the address is the same as the one that Lee included, which is expected since we're using the same network passphrase. And then we need to go back and grab all of our WASM hashes and contract IDs and swap out what he's got with what we have. And this last one. Perfect. We'll save that. And then we can go back to make serve, which will stand up the Deno server. We've got our URL here. And we'll pop that bad boy in there. Okie dokie. So we've got an account, Stellar account with the friend bot, gave us 10,000 lumens. And now we're going to create our magic credential. This is our pass key that will be our face or our fingers or a one password pass key or a YubiKey. Whatever you want. I mean, it's crazy. It's the webauthn curve that we're adding. So let's add a new one. All right, let's use phone. I'm going to get my phone here. Got my phone. I'm going to scan this passkey. It's going to sign in. It's going to ask me where it wants to put it. I'll put it in the keychain. Scan my face. And there we go. Credential created. Now we're going to deploy. So we got the credential, but we actually need to upload it as a contract account. So instead of it being a Stellar account, it's a Soroban account, a smart contract where its purpose is actually to sign and verify inbound hashes, as it were. It's kind of like if you know how hardware wallets work, it's similar to that, just a Soroban contract that's bound to this particular passkey. Anyway, we'll deploy that. Okay, we'll fund that account with 1,000 of this original lumen. So that's now in the passkey Soroban contract. I'm not sure why it's air quotes. It's real. And then we'll refund it. So this is the thing that essentially is saying, hey, Mr. New Face ID webauthn Soroban account, give me some money back. Refund it. So this is the thing that we're going to need to actually sign. Now, because I stored it inside of iCloud, it's a passkey inside of the Apple iCloud environment, so I can actually use my keyboard. I have a keyboard with a little fingerprint scanner, so I could just do it right there, but I'm going to cancel, and I'm going to say use a phone or a tablet, get my camera back out, and scan that, and it's going to sign with my phone. I'm going to hit continue, scan it with my face, and look at that. It's signed, submitted, and actually sent 100 XLM by scanning my face. I'm very excited about this. No wallets involved, just scanning my face with passkeys. This is incredible. Hey, why not? Let's scan it with our fingerprint. Now, I'm going to pop in and just ta-da! Scan, submitted, valid, went through. This is amazing. And I really need you, if you are amazed about this as I am, I really need you to go to this link right here on our Discord. And I need you to go and show some support on this thread that has nothing. Okay? He's asking for use cases, and the use case is literally everything. So yeah, there's a couple of links. I mean, you can chat in here. I want to see this number closer to like 1,000. How many people do we have in our Discord? Members. 9,000. I want to see this a little bit closer to the 9,000 mark. Please and thank you, so that we can make sure that this thing actually goes live, right? We need CAP51 merge so that we don't have to use the unlimited Docker. We can actually do this on mainnet. So go and show this some love. Play around with this new webauthn that Lee's built for us. This is amazing. And I think I'm not wrong or alone about this.